Let's take a look at a couple more lights here that I've been seeing a lot of questions about, and people asking which one do they think would be better for their use, for their desire. So today we got two Nitecores. We got Nitecore Tini and the Nitecore Tip. This is 2017 version, and this is if you get the Glacier one, it's not going to be silver. So they both basically operate the same. You can tell there is a side difference. They both come with the same keychain clip kind of thing there, and both are light out the front. This looks like a little digital camcorder to me, the Tini does, and the Tip is it's an old design, but it still works pretty good. A lot of people like it. They both come in these flatter boxes. These aren't the larger retail packaging. They're pretty narrow, just kind of shelf hangers there, and they both work the same. And let's see here, the Tini is 380 lumens for 15 minutes, but that puts your working light at 145 for an hour, the mid for 38 lumens for 4 hours, or 1 lumen for 60 hours. And then the Tip is 360 lumens for 30 minutes. Your working high is 150 for an hour and 30 minutes, the mid for 6 hours 30 minutes at 35, and 1 lumen for 46 hours. Both are IP54 rated, so they should offer good dust resistance, and they are not rated for submersion, but 4 should be enough to stand up to most rains. Not these two particular lights, but I have held it's a mini mag is what it was. It was out in a very, very heavy rain, just torrential downpour for like 20 minutes, and that light was fine. That was only rated IP4. So that's a good indication of what IP4 should be, and both have 1.5 meters of impact resistance. They're both so light, honestly, I'd be surprised if they broke from 1 or 2 drops unless it hit just right. Both of them are micro USB rechargeable. So on the Tip, it's on the side there, and then on the Tini, you have a little port cover there. It's still on the side also, and it does kind of swing out of the way all the way. So it's kind of small. If you have large fingers, you might have a hard time, but it's got a little nubbin thing there, so I wouldn't think you'd have too hard of a time. No. But you can see the lens there. It's got its like a diffused lens cover there, and then this one is smooth with like an orange peel type thing inside of it, orange peel reflector there. The Tip, instead of coming with that, it comes with this, they call it a multi-purpose clip. So this goes on there, and that covers your buttons, but it also covers your USB port, and it'll allow you to put it on the bill of a baseball cap there, which I did do once. I had to do that, and it worked pretty well for that. But as a pocket clip, in the course of one day, it came off 3 times. Like, it came completely off the light. I didn't lose the light. The light fell into my pocket, because when I have it clipped on the inside of my pocket, but the clip bounced away, and I found it each time, but still. And this will, well, let's see if I can do it, but it will go on the other way as well, so if you want to do it that way. So it'll work either way, and it does offer some protection from accidental activation, but if you work, and of course now it's not going to work, but I had it come on, so if you're not careful, it will still come on, but that offers quite a bit of protection from that, honestly. So how do these work? I said they both work the same way. Well, there are 2 modes of working for each of these. One is demo, and one is daily, is what they're calling it. So you hold down both buttons, and that flash, so that's your daily mode. So that will leave you with, when you turn the light on, it stays on until you turn it off or until the battery dies. And the demo mode, one flash, you turn it on, and it will turn off after 30 seconds there. So this one does the same thing. So there's no strobe, no signal or anything for these, but they do have that. And these are, these seem to be made, this one mainly just for a keychain light, kind of. Both of them, I guess, could be. For my own taste, this one is a little bit big for that, but it will work. And you see it just turned off. That's that demo mode. So if you're worried about accidental activation, you can do that. And then what happens is it's too late now, but if you activate it again within 3 seconds of it shutting off, it'll stay on for you, and it won't do the automatic shut off. And after you turn it off, the next time that you turn it back on, it will still be in that demo mode where it'll shut off on its own. So that's a little bit more protection from accidental activation. If it just bumps once, it'll go off after 30 seconds. Not a huge deal. Both of the, well, does this one do it? Yeah, so that's okay. So that's not what I was trying to do there. That's just the low mode, or the mode memory there. And then this one you have to hold down the turbo, but it won't stay in turbo. Okay, but you do have direct access to turbo still, but when you turn it off, it goes away. So that's another difference there. This one is turbo, and if you let it go within 5 seconds of activation, it will just stay on. But if you hold it for more than 5 seconds, it will go off. And then this one also has access to your low mode, and it works the same rules. Hold it for more than 5 seconds, and it'll go off, as opposed to that. And then once it's on, same thing, just 2 switch. If you want to stay in turbo, you have to do it from off and hold the button down for less than 5 seconds, and then it'll stay in turbo for you. So we've seen how they charge, micro USB. There's a battery level indicator on both of these, and you get to them both the same way. You just push that mode select button, and that was 3 flashes, so that means I'm over 50%. And 2 flashes would mean it's under 50%, and 3 means you better charge it because you're under 10%. And this guy will do the same thing, but it's using blue lights, which looks fancier. But it's basically the same thing. Now, what are these made out of? I'm not positive. The instructions for the Tini say it's aero grade aluminum. So I guess that is aircraft grade aluminum is what it's supposed to be. It does feel thin, but there's not a whole lot of give on this. The buttons are, I don't know, I think the buttons are probably the biggest weak point on this one. And this one doesn't feel cheap either. Feels like it's got a little more density to it. But the instructions don't specifically say it's aluminum, it just says metallic. So what is it actually made out of? I don't know. I have no idea. But I do kind of like the Glacier stainless steel. I just didn't realize that's what I was in for when I got it. Both of these are decent products. Both the stainless steel version was I was seeing for $35, but if you get the regular colors, I was seeing them for $30 for the tip, and then the Tini I was seeing for $30 as well. So about the same price. If you want a keychain flashlight, just a keychain flashlight, I would go with the Tini. If you want a light that could be a keychain flashlight but has enough runtime and functionality that it could just be your everyday carry light, like you don't need a tactical light, you're not worried about trying to save the world with your flashlight guy, I would go ahead and go with the Tip, especially considering they're about the same price. I like both of them, and we'll go ahead and do some beam shots so you can see. I mean, they're just little tiny lights, so it's not going to be anything spectacular. But for the cost and for what they do, they're pretty good, I think, overall. And I'm not going to do submersion tests because they're not rated for submersion at all. They're rated for rain, basically. So they'll stand up to most sweat and most rain. If you're worried about your port being open, you can always use your little clip here, and that will cover it. Or, I don't know. I've seen silicone port covers before, but it's been a long time since I've seen them. I don't know why they don't sell them more. Okay, so we're here with our Tini and our Tip here. So on the left, we're going to have our Tini, and on the right, we're going to have our Tip. And let's adjust this just a little bit for you there. All right, so on the left, we're going to have our Tini. On the right, we're going to have the Tip. And so the turbo for the Tini, you can see it's just a very broad hot spot with some spill there. And that's the turbo though. So there's your lowest mode. You can see it. Next. And then there's your high. and that's your turbo again. All right, so we'll do our tip. So the lowest mode on here, I don't know if you can even see that. So there's the lowest mode for the tip. Medium, you can see similar profile there. That's high. And then that's your turbo. Camera does not like this, not in the least. Okay, so that's there. And then, so we got, it looks like the tip has a little bit of a broader hotspot there, but overall pretty similar. All right, so there we go. So we can see from that demonstration that the outputs are similar, but not the same. But it does look like the tip has a little bit of a broader hotspot. So which one should you get? Well, excepting getting the one like this, they both cost the same. I think it comes down to size and what you want to do with it, really. Like I said, if it's just somebody, like you got somebody that doesn't want to carry a light but always seems to need a light, this is probably going to be a little bit easier for them. Just make sure when you give it to them, set it in that demo mode, and they should be good to go. If it's somebody who actually wants a light and will probably use it on a regular basis, and actually, like I said, wants a light, I would go ahead and go with the tip. It's a bit bigger, but it does have the battery's almost twice as big, so you'll have much longer run times with it. Both seem to be decent products for the price range. There are other keychain type flashlights you can buy that may work better for some people, but the ones that I've seen don't have as much functionality for the price range or less. So that in itself could make it a better buy for some people. How long will these last? Well, I carried both of these in my pocket at work and on the weekend. So for about 2 weeks, carried each one in a pocket. I put the Tini on my keychain, and then the tip I just carried as a light in a different pocket. And the Tini in a pocket with keys, it did come on 3 times in one day, but that didn't seem to be the norm. It was just kind of an occasional thing other than that. So I think if I had left it on demo mode, I think it probably would have been fine, and I might never have noticed it. The tip, I think, came on 1 time in that period, and I don't know what I was doing, but it did come on. So I would prefer something with a lockout mode, or for me, probably I would be carrying these. I might carry the tip as just my light that I'm carrying that day, maybe, just because of the shape. It might be easier to carry than a round light or whatever. But I have other things that I use for backup lights. So personally, I would not carry these as a backup light, but I already have something, so that makes the difference for me. If you don't already have something, take a look at some other things out there. I like Nitecore. Nitecore makes some good stuff. I have several other lights, and